for my wife and our children and I, this will be our third Christmas again where this is looming overhead, and you hear people talk, getting prepared for the Christmas season and Christmas shopping. This year, we're preparing documentation to go to an arbitration hearing. It's extremely difficult with three children, kids in university coming home, our daughter in high school. To say it's financially tight would be a huge understatement. The stress is difficult. Christmas season is a time of joy, peace, and for us it's a great deal of stress, a lot of sleepless nights, and just the daily functions. It's extremely difficult. And you're trying to explain to your children about unanimous court decisions that the city should be complying with, and it doesn't make sense to us. And you just tell them, say, it's all going to be fine, you just hang in there, it's going to be fine, and you focus on the positive, you focus on what's important in life, and you focus on the things that you have control over. And it's just, this is the third year, and I never thought in a million years that here would be this year, when the ruling came out in September, that this is still here. It's very, very difficult, especially during a time of, normally would be a joy, happiness, your children coming home from university, and I have one coming home from university on Thursday this week, another one coming home on the 23rd. We go to our arbitration hearing on the 21st and 22nd. We go on the 23rd to pick up our daughter at the airport. Difficult.
And just to follow up, it is a season of joy. There hasn't been a lot of joy over the last couple of years.
No.
We're just looking for some closure.
And that's why we're saying now it's borderline persecution, because this is unbelievable, the pursuit of trying to fire this man. I mean, as you know, when you fire somebody in a workplace, wherever it is, it's capital punishment usually. It's like you don't fire somebody unless there's some major issue here, and that's not the case here. So that's why it will be welcome for the media to be there, so that the taxpayers can see for themselves how this chief has, tried to take their money and just spend it like it was, like it was the Gong Show.
Is there any time frame after the arbitration hearing, how long
15 days.
They got to come back with a result after 15 days?
In 15 days, yeah.
Are you ready, willing, and able to go back to work at the drop of a hat right now?
I've been ready for a couple of years.
Yeah, Art has supplied medical data some time ago to them, subsequent to the September decision, clearing him totally of any concerns to go back to work. So the onus is on them to try to come up with whatever. We believe it's just a continued. When he was fired 2 years ago, this chief obviously thought that he'd just dry up and blow away.
There is obviously a new police chief coming in the new year, and Paul Fye and Darryl Campbell will, I guess, retire. Does that change the situation at all? Obviously, this is happening before then, so.
Well, I mean, the point of the matter is, you would think that a chief that's retiring and he's down south and on the, the Price is Right and all this other stuff is, he's on his way out. He's not there. Why a persecution like this in his dying days? You would think that he would have allowed the new chief to make decisions of this nature. But anyway, obviously, he has put a stake in the ground 2 years ago, and that stake in the ground happens to be in his heart.
I know you've, in terms of public support and the public reaction, has been very positive for you guys. According to a lot of comments that were left on our site, it's overwhelming. Does that continue now? Do you find it's even stronger than before? Or is it?
Actually, it is. Last week I was in St. John. My mother had cancer surgery last week, so I come back on a Friday, and everywhere I went, it was. As soon as I got back in town on Friday night, everywhere went people. So it's great to hear. The support's been staggering, and they say, "Oh, you're back to work. You're back to work." Everything's. I don't make any. I said, "No, I'm not back to work." It's going through the process. There's a lot of things that, you know, like people don't like, well, it's the process, and I said we have to let it go through the process. And everybody in the Miramichi believes, number one, I'm back to work, that everything's, I said, no, I'm not back to work, so.
People genuinely do want closure for us as well. We want closure, they want closure for us. This has been
We just want,
difficult for everybody.
we just want to go on with life and
Just be allowed to move forward.
move forward.
Yeah, see, when that September decision came out, people thought, oh, well, there the Court of Appeals made a unanimous decision putting him back to work. There he's back to work, but he has not been back to work. I mean, so now the taxpayers will have paid, you know, for a salary that he could have been out there doing his police duties. Doesn't make any sense.
The word persecution keeps getting tossed out quite a bit.
Well, you can see the litany. When you look at the litany of facts here, it's like, what else makes any sense?
Do you think that Chief Campbell does have something personal against you, Art? I guess is that the feeling you're getting, that it is something personal, or is it just a kind of a big confusing matter at this
It's
point?
the whole, it doesn't make, it's, I'm not sure. I believe in the system and I have to let it take its course, and
Yeah, we're making that statement based on the facts. You see, when you have 2 years ago a firing with no hearing, then you have a unanimous Court of Appeal decision that says those three things, and they don't follow that. Then you have another Court of Appeal hearing, needless one, arguing against the Supreme Court of Canada decision. That's unusual. That's unheard of. You know, like, we've never been involved in 35 years where a lawyer for a police chief went to court and argued against a Supreme Court decision. Nobody does it. You don't do that. I mean, it's nonsensical unless you're just wanting to cause more financial hardship on the other party, more delay, and that kind of thing. In fact, it was his father in that law firm that argued that case and lost it, Mr. Petrie's father. And you can look it up yourself and see the case. So therefore, when you look at all of those facts, that's where we believe it's borderline persecution, because these are unusual. You don't do this.
Covers what I have, I guess.
All right, well, thank you very much, and we'll see you next week at the hearing.
All right.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
thank you.
Okay?